Hello and welcome back again to the humble little workshop in Shropshire. Thanks for joining me again. Today's project I'm looking at is a back scratcher kit, which is this one here. It might look familiar with this end because we have another kit that actually matches this, and I'm going to do actually two kits together today. You will see that it's quite a nice back scratcher kit. What it comes with is, get this off, that little screw there. If you're doing acrylics or something that's well, basically acrylics, you can glue that in to the acrylic and that will give you the thread to connect onto this part here. The thread here is an M6 thread and it will come out of the kit itself like so, and like the shoehorn kit that I'm going to be looking at in a minute, this has got a built-in ferrule, so there's a bit of measuring to be done in order to fit these together, but what you don't get is a lump of stuff that screws in that you can see at the end, and it makes for quite a seamless transition between the kit and the piece of wood you're doing. That is why we've designed it like so. We'll see, I think I'd be right in saying that we're about the only people that do chrome kits. We do them in gold as well, but that's the shoehorn kit, and there's the thread I just dropped that goes in there. So you will see the two parts kind of match and go together. So I thought it would be quite a nice thing to do to actually join them together. The designs are similar, the sizes are slightly different, but when they're apart, I don't actually think you'll see the difference. So we'll crack on. I've got a piece of wood on the lathe. What I'm going to do is drill some holes in either end of it. It's a bit of oak, it's probably a bit bigger than it should be, and then we're going to turn it between centres. Now as the video goes on, you may see that I had a slight problem with the tenons that I made. I'm just going to show you one of the tenons because they are actually quite small. That's the size of the tenon there. How do you overcome this? Well, you'll see at the end of the video what I've actually got is I've left a bigger ring of wood at the end just to strengthen it, to stop the dead centre splitting the wood apart. Part of my problem, I have to admit, was the fact that my tool was as blunt as anything, because I haven't been in here turning for probably about 4 months or so. So that's the way to get around it. If you just leave a section at the end, nice big thick chunky bit, then it won't split open, and just before assembly you can cut that off and screw the parts together. And that is how I overcame that. You will see that, as I said, at the end of the video. For this double-ended kit, I've got a piece of old oak that is, I think it's about 25 centimetres long, 250 mils long. It's really much wider than it needs to be. It's nearly 40 mils wide, or 40 mils square around the section. Probably much too big, probably going to make a hell of a mess in here, but whatever. I've got it cut now, so that's the size I'm going to use. What I'm going to do to start with is use the measurements for the back scratcher kit. Sorry, my brain stopped for a moment there. The back scratcher kit, to put the hole in for this end. The threads on both kits are actually M6, so they'll be the same, but the tenons on each end are just very slightly different. So I'm going to start with this end with a centre finder that I've got in here. So I'm going to start with the centre finder, then I'm going to drill 5.5mm hole, make sure it's deep enough for the thread to go directly into, and then we'll turn it around and do a similar thing the other end. I've got a metal dead centre up here which we do sell. If you don't have one, you can make your own. If you just get a scrap bit of wood in a chuck and turn it to a point, you will find that that will also make a dead centre. You have to return it each time you use it, or once it's been off the lathe, to recenter it. But you can find that wood in something like this, because it's actually quite big, you might get a slightly better grip, because what this wants to do is really twist on here. So I've got it nice and tight. It's not going to split apart because of the size of wood that it is, but you can look at a wooden dead centre at this end, and at the tailstock I've obviously got a live centre. So we'll just knock the edges off this, get it round, and then we'll look at the sizing for the tenons on each end. So the first bit I'm going to do is the back scratcher. I'm going to do it at this end. So what I need to do when I reset my calipers is to measure the depth, which is about 10 millimeters, and the tenon needs to be about 11.3, something like that. So I'm just going to actually finish those off there. So we want a 10 millimeter mark down there, and then we want to turn them to that space at this end, ready for that bit there. Now I'm not going to take it all the way down at the moment, because I'm going to have to put quite a bit of pressure on this in order to turn the rest of it. So I've just taken it down so far because we'll release the pressure at the end and just finish off the tenons. I'm going to measure for this tenon up here and start that one, then we'll look at the shaping. Now you'll see what I've done on this end possibly is that I've left a little bit more wood as to stop this bit splitting off. If you want to make sure that these don't split when they're under pressure, you can leave just a chunk of, just make your kit a little bit bigger, and at the end just trim them off when you've got the tenons to the right size. I've got a slightly wrong shape here, so I'm just going to touch that one up and then sand it down again. Okay, so here's my chunky handle. That goes on quite easily on that end. And how does this one go? That's a bit tighter, but it does just about go on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is pop the threads in these parts and actually screw them in to the handle. Right, let me get the threads. Which one shall we do first? I think I might do the shoehorn first, because that's going to give me the better grip. The shoehorn has the slightly shorter tenon piece, and I'm actually just going to screw that onto there. It should go in okay. Wood fibre there. Right, so that's the, and now I'll try the other end. You can, of course, if you want to, glue these in for a permanent fix. And if you're very clever, you can line up your shoehorn and your back scratcher. I've got mine back to front, or have I? I don't think it matters greatly. Actually, there's quite a nice handle to hold on to there for that. I'm not sure if you can see the whole thing there, but that is the idea. I thought I'd give it a nice big chunky handle, because it's a dressing aid, if you like. So it's been quite a while since I've been in here turning, and I've made a few mistakes on the way, but basically there is the finished thing. Back scratcher at one end and shoehorn at the other. It's quite a long bit of kit. I will do my best to take a photograph of it and pop it on the, I might even do it in 2 halves, you never know. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. One of the main things that I've learned is actually leave a little bit extra on the end when you do your tenons. That helps an awful lot. But there we go, quite happy with that. Quite a nice chunky bit. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Cheers, bye bye for now.